I think some difficult things to strike a balance on in Europe are the balance between competition and collaboration, if you want to call it that. And so, you know, competition is itself a great driver of innovation. And so supporting competition, whilst at the same time supporting some of these more collaborative activities, how do you strike that balance? How do you do that? I think that's a challenge. And I think it's, I mean, I would say that different parts of the world feel, say, more competitive. And others feel very much more collaborative. So striking that balance is quite important. The second thing is that Europe, I think people would generally say that venture capital is and private equity is somewhat weaker in Europe than, for example, in America. And this is a big driver of the process. It's a big part of the relay race to which Henry referred. So that's the second thing. And then the third thing is that there are quite a lot of things that work very well within the nations in Europe. And so the question is, how do you make sure that what you provide for the whole of Europe is really additive, if you like? So this, I mean, people call it different things, subsidiarity and those sorts of things. So deciding, you know, what are the really big things to drive, if you like, at the European Union level, and what things, frankly, can carry on quite happily without any assistance in the various nations in Europe, you know, as part of the innovation ecosystem here. That's another one that it's, I think, you know, one has to think carefully about how you strike the balance. But to answer your question, at the end of the day, I agree with Henry. In other words, okay. You know, a strong and simple intellectual property regime across Europe would be a massive enabler of the mobility of ideas, and I'd support that with mobility of the people as well. This is a massive driver of innovation.
Well, but my word, I mean, the European Union has been trying for more than 30 years to reform the IP system here. The Commission has proposed this countless times. What are the odds that this will happen, do you think?
I cannot predict. I just cannot predict. The fact that they've been trying to do it for 30 years suggests to me that they must have thought it's worthwhile. Yes. It's pretty consistent.
And in truth, they have been acting a lot on it lately.
I'll just draw an analogy here. My own experience of negotiating intellectual property with a single institution is that can be pretty tricky. So I can understand that sort of dealing with the whole of the topic against all of Europe, there'll be lots of different ideas as to the right answer. I can understand it's difficult, but I think it's worth it.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much, both of you. We will be releasing the results of your research in a few months, actually. And I will be looking forward to reading that and debating it in Brussels and elsewhere. Thank you very much to David Eyton from BP and Henry Chesbrough from Berkeley and Esade Business School. Thank you.